Hey y'all, peace and assalamu alaikum. It's me. So I got a little bit of time. I figured I'd make a little video so I can put something up on this darn page, on this channel. So actually, I was talking to somebody a little while ago, and they are driving to Philadelphia. It's like a couple of hours, 2.5 hours, something like that, to go to this vegan restaurant. And even though it's like mad far, which I can do because I like to drive, as you can tell, I'm always in the car. But I said to them, like, y'all are so lucky or blessed or whatever you want to call it, because back in the day when I was being vegan and all that kind of thing, I don't remember how long I was vegan, maybe 7 years, something like that. I was like strict vegan. But this is like the 90s into the 2000s, and probably no, it must have been longer than 7 years. What am I talking about? Anyways, it's a really long time. And so, back in those days, man, listen, you couldn't find vegan food, like vegetarian food and that kind of thing in a store to save your life. Like there was like not even a thing. It just wasn't even a thing. And so you had to either go to a health food store, which they were like far in between. Health food stores before health nuts. People like us were called health nuts. It was not a thing. They had spots over in Greenwich Village in New York, but I'm from Jersey. I was living in Jersey, and I didn't even know about those places for a while after I became vegan anyway. So they had well-established places like Vegetarian Paradise, which is like an Asian or Chinese vegan spot. So they will like turn vegan meals into stuff that would resemble meat. So for instance, something that keeps sticking out in my mind, so I used to date this guy ages ago, and he was toxic. And so we went there, and he was like, order this steamed pork roll. I was like, ew, what the hell? But I think I actually ordered it to just like get him off my back. I was really young, y'all, and had not yet found my voice. But so that was just the weirdest thing to me. But I had never heard of like a steamed roll with stuff into it, so that was really interesting. But I said that to say, that's the kind of things they will have, like fake pork, which again, I was like, why would somebody want to eat something that tastes like pig? Ew. And so all these like cool things that they made though. So that was the place. We used to go to this spot a lot when my children were younger, called, I think it's on 4th. It's around the Blue Note somewhere. I can't remember. It's right off of 6th Ave, like Avenue of the Americas. But that place is really good. It was called Red Bamboo or something like that. But they were really good. I used to like them. But my all-time favorite spot I still go to anytime I am in the city, in Greenwich Village. This is how I rock. I'm gonna tell you. So I always take the path. I always drive to New Jersey, park in New Jersey. I'll park in Harrison, and because they have underground parking, whatever you call it, and I just like pay my money. I am not driving to the city because I can drive in New York with no problem. But those parking signs, I know they intentionally confuse you so they can give you a ticket. And those joints are expensive. Do you hear me? They're well over $100. Ain't got no time for that. So I just drive to Jersey, park in Harrison, and get in my little $10-15 and jump on the path. So the path train is right there where the parking is. So I jump on the PATH train, take it to I normally take it to Journal Square and then do like transfer over to the what is it? The 33rd. So I get off Journal Square in Jersey City and then transfer over to the 33rd. So that goes all the way out to Madison Square Garden, the second train. But I don't do that. I get off at Christopher Street. I always get off on Christopher Street. I just love walking through Christopher Street. It's a whole vibe. I've done this for 25 years. This is how I do. And you know, just walk on through. So I'll walk on down past 7th and all that to 6th. And my spot, I'm telling you, Eva's. That's my joint. And when I get, every time, I am so easy. If somebody wanted to poison me, they could without a problem. I forget what the number is, but there's this vegetarian platter. I think they call it, but it's really vegan. Oh, M to the G. So the rice is banger. First of all, I'm dope with cooking rice. I usually cook basmati rice sometimes, you know, jasmine, but I am crappy. Well, I haven't even tried really to cook brown rice. I did a few times a long time ago, and I didn't like how it came out, so I don't even mess with it. But basmati rice is really good because it digests in your system really well, even though it's white rice. People think that all white rice is bad for your system. It's not. But their brown rice, honey, is so banging. It's always tip top. It's always good. And this combo, it comes in, you know, little for you container like you would get from like a West Indian restaurant or whatever, with your kalaloo and all that kind of thing. So this has that same for you container, and it has a whole bunch of rice, because that's what you do when you're in the restaurant business. You give crazy tons of rice because they ain't hardly no money. You ain't losing no money. And it makes your plate look like it's plentiful. That's what they do. They have that, and they give you about maybe 3 falafels. I've eaten falafels from all over the place, and I prefer Eva's above everybody else's. So it has that. It has some hummus in it, which is really good. But what I love more than anything is the baba ganoush. Oh man, listen, can nobody touch it? I don't care. I don't care. And so I get that, and they also have a nice little salad with their romaine and all that kind of thing. The only thing I don't like is the little lemon squares. I hate when people put lemon squares in anything in my food, especially in my water. That makes me angry. But Eva's is the banginess, okay? So, you know, my point was that back in the day, you'd have to go over to the village to, you know, getting good food or anything, and you certainly could not just walk into a ShopRite or whatever, Wegmans or anything, and get you anything so much as soy milk. It just was not happening. They didn't have those things out there for people to just buy. And so now, being an old head that I am, when I walk into supermarkets and they have whole sections, I'm bugging. Like that, we didn't have that. If you wanted to, like I said, you'd have to somehow find you a health food store, which were not plentiful at the time. There was no Whole Foods. In fact, I remember when their predecessor, Fresh Fields, opened in Montclair, New Jersey. We were like super happy. I worked at a health store that was in East Orange for many years. Big ups to Olive May. So I used to work at Olive May for about maybe 5 years or so, making their juices and things like that. But even when they opened Fresh Fields, my co-workers and I, we were too happy. Because there was nothing like that. We were like, yo, they making a whole supermarket of just like natural foods, which it wasn't only natural foods, but it was vastly natural foods, just like, you know, Whole Foods is. They still have their commercial brands here and there, but Whole Foods, of course, and stepped the game way up. But So you either had to find yourself a health food store, or you had to do mail order. Mail order is not the same as Amazon, y'all. There was no internet. You could not for the masses. There was no internet. You couldn't just go to a website and order or something. You had to first figure out where there was a mail order company where you can get the junk from, and then you had to get a catalog. You had to call them for a catalog to be sent to you, and then you had to actually order that junk over the phone, or else you send in like the little ordering form that came with the catalog. Oops, hey now. So you either had to call it in, or you send in the thing. So it was just like a whole big to do, and like everybody else, you get. It wasn't like Amazon again. I'm gonna say, because it's 2021. It's all about Amazon, I guess. But with Prime, with their 2 days and stuff, which is never 2 days for me, by the way. I don't know why I'm paying for it, but you had to wait weeks. So it's a whole different world, you know what I'm saying? So when now they have and back then, like, they did not have all these companies making non-dairy frozen desserts. So these non-dairy ice creams and stuff, they are all over the place now. You got Ben and Jerry's, and all these brands popping up all the time with their expensive butts. But So Foodie was the joint, okay? And I remember there was another health store that I actually worked for too, that was in Montclair, that they were old school, but when Fresh Fields came through, they like messed them up, they had to close. But they used to have a soft serve machine there where you can get Foodie on your cones. I never saw that anywhere else then or now, like ever. So that was pretty dope. But you can get it, in a little cup, and it be just coming out the, soft serve. But Foodie was my joint. You can't find Foodie anymore. Oh my gosh, man. I never cared for the Better Pecan. It was called, not butter, but better pecan. My ex-husband, I turned him on to that. He used to like that all the time. But my joints were the wild berry. Ooh, child, I could have some of that right now. I'm mentioning the wild berry Foodie. They had the wild berry, which was like a swirly thing that was so banging. Vanilla, almond bark. Those almond pieces used to always taste like chocolate to me. I don't know what they did to those almonds. But that was another one. Then there was another one I used to like. I can't remember what it was. Something chocolate. I can't believe I can't remember, because I used to tear them joints up. And that was back in the day when the sister ain't gained no weight, so I was eating them and not putting on no weight. But now if I eat one, I'm gonna gain 4 pounds before I even finish. But yeah, they were really good. So we just didn't have stuff, man. You could, oh my God. And if you were able to find some cheeses, first of all, I remember not being able to find vegan cheeses like anywhere. But the cheeses, until very recently, that vegan cheese, honey, did not melt, okay? And they got me side-eyeing now, like, how come y'all got this cheese to melt? What y'all do to this? But even now, Foodie, the Foodie brand, my favorite vegan cheese slices is the Foodie brand. It's really good. The American cheese, I like that one. I just bought one from Wegmans the other day, because the Wegmans brand, I forget the name of it, it's not Wegmans, but there's another, they have a Wegmans brand, but there's another brand as Wegmans. Anyway, that was irrelevant. But I just bought some cheese from them last week because it was on sale. It was like $2 off, so I was like, hell, I'll try it, whatever. That junk, honey, it's like cardboard. but it does melt. Like, I popped it in the microwave because I was like, I can't do this. It's like breaking off like it's chipboard or something. It was just weird. So, you know, many try, few were chosen. Everybody can't do it. But you know, now to see like all these vegan hot dogs, and just, if you're vegan, you do not have a problem getting food. But when we were coming up with it, listen, the struggle was very real, let me just say that. So yeah, it's like on, like, the person I was talking to was saying, you know, like, I get mad when I see all these things coming out, because she said her mom's was has been gluten-free forever, but the same thing was so far hard for them to find anything gluten-free that her mom used to have to mail order bread. And that's another thing, it was so expensive. That crap is still expensive now, but a lot of it, like the Ezekiel bread and stuff. I think I keep saying I'm gonna do like little cooking videos, but on here and just don't, but I need to, I just want to. But one of the things I think everybody should get is a bread maker. They are not expensive at all, and they are so crazy easy to just, it's like a dump thing. Just dump the ingredients in there and it does the work for you. Because these breads, one thing I'm a stickler for is bread, like the ingredients in bread, because they be wilding with it. Let me go on back this way if I'll be late for class. They like be wilding with it. And so her mom's had, you know, used to have to ship off for bread, which I can't even imagine, because we go through bread in my house. We are bread lovers, honey. And yeah, so man, just now it's just like such a blessing where I can relate to her. She was saying, you know, like I said, sometimes she gets upset because you see all this people just jumping on the bandwagon, which I can dig. Again, I mentioned Ben & Jerry's before, but Ben & Jerry's and just so many other companies that you're like, you know, you ain't really about this life. You're just trying to like exploit people and get money, because that's what corporations do. But by the same token, it's such a blessing that we have so many options now. And so if you want to go out with the family, you can, you know, just go out with the family and find yourself a vegan restaurant in so many areas. Or even I saw, gosh darn it, what's homegirl name? The really happy black sister with the big pretty hair. Lord have mercy, I can't think of her name right now. But she did a video with this channel or what have you, talking about different like mainstream places that actually have vegan specific choices now. So those type of things are like real cool, you know. But again, I get funny sometimes, because I'm a very big label reader, and so I'm kind of like, what y'all got in it? Like, I saw something, I don't know if it's like some sort of spoof or something, or if it's really real, but I just saw somewhere recently that KFC has vegan chicken, yo. I would be scared to eat KFC regular chicken. I ain't trusting it. So let alone some vegan junk. I'm like, what kind of modifications y'all doing with this food right now? But there are options now, so that's, you know, that's groovy. I see, you know, they have which I'm funny to, Burger King and all them places with the Beyond Meat. Even though I'll buy Beyond Meat, like the actual burgers, to cook myself at home. But because I can see the ingredients, not that I think they always like, being honest, because again, corporations. But you know, you can only do but so much. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna eat. But I'll buy them like that because I can see the ingredients. But when you're talking about places that were already modifying food, like regular food, I'm really, really side-eyeing, like, horror, like, what are y'all doing to this food? But, you know, again, the flip side is you can be vegan or vegetarian or gluten-free. My bestie is gluten-free, doesn't have a problem eating out. And so those things are awesome, you know. But, you know, when we think back on how it used to be, like I said, the struggle is real. We've come a long way, baby. But, yep, that's it. Finish running my mouth. Y'all have a good day.